It'll be fun to watch, though. It's fun to have football back. And, I know that we all look for, once football season ends and we have all the winter sports, we still look forward to football season and the next time around, and we're back to it.
I am kind of happy, though, that the Red Sox are doing something this year, so, it always makes it nice. Some former players walking there in front of us as we get ready for the kickoff here. Number 23, Andrew Kanash, ready to kick it off. And it's high and deep. It'll be taken about the 5-yard line. Brought up by St. Johnsbury directly up the center. There's a hole in the middle, and he makes positive yards. He's still on his feet. Finally bowled over about the 43-yard line. Number 36, I believe. 35. That would be Dylan Shattuck carrying the ball for St. Johnsbury. This offense works very quickly. What Alercio's tried to do here is set up the offense to try and make the defense make mistakes. And on the high school level, Rick, that can come very easily sometimes.
Well, it can, and that was just a nice run back by Shattuck. Right up the middle, a good hole there. He's the starting running back, and we'll see him in the backfield.
We'll go with the traditional 4-3 look, almost a dime look, as St. Johnsbury throws a screen to the running back to start off and pick up 5 yards immediately. Tackled there by number 70, Corey Black.
Andrew Kanash also on the play over there, and that was a good play, though, by Colton Hudson, who had a rusher in his face and was able just to dish it out to Shattuck nicely.
Yeah, Colton Hudson, a junior for the Hilltoppers, and he struggled a little bit in their scrimmage against Woodstock, but he's been able to really bring it on in practice lately. He's got a good understanding of the offense. We'll see how he runs it tonight. There's the snap. They hand off to the running back on the inside zone, and we'll have a flag on the play.
First flag of the season. Good job defensively there by the Raiders. Skylar Amario, who sealed off the edge there and then closed down and kept that gain minimal.
St. Johnsbury looking to the sidelines. For those of you at home, this is very similar to what you see with the no-huddle offense from Oregon and other schools who like to employ it. They look to the sideline. They're looking at a couple of different coaches, one of which is a decoy, the other one calling the plays, and essentially they're getting the play, the entire team, the line, the quarterback, and so forth. They rarely, if ever, huddle. So that's really what we're seeing go on here as the Zebras are marking out the first penalty of the season on that second down play. Let's see what they're going to say here.
Against St. Johnsbury, holding.
Did you have a good summer, Rick?
I did, and I hope the summer's not over yet.
Well, it's last of summer. Just because football started doesn't mean you can't keep playing golf.
No, that's
the way I look at it.
That is right. So big penalty, though, it really sets the hill. They were looking at would have been third down and about 4.
Yeah, and as it stands, they back him up for what essentially I believe was a holding penalty.
Yep.
So the backup now makes it more like 2nd and 16. They've got trips to the right, and they draw Rutland off sides. They jump, and they will get back some of that yardage they lost on the penalty.
Rutland is a little bit anxious there, trying to get the good rush. Of course, they know now a definite passing situation, trying to get a good jump on the quarterback.
But realize, too, Rick, that they're going to throw a lot of stuff that's more like a running play. Yeah, when they run bubble hitch or something like that, which I know is in the arsenal here, they can run a bubble screen out of this or perhaps another screen. That's a big part of the package that they run at St. Johnsbury. Take the inside zone. Quarterback rolls out on the bootleg, throws it short for about a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Hilltoppers.
Joe McCabe, slot receiver, on the reception.
Billings and Sosinski on the tackle.
Wyatt Sosinski, first time we've heard his name called all year. He does a great job usually for the Raiders as they get set here. Like I said, very quick. 3rd and about 7 as they fake inside zone. Quarterback looking, and he throws back to Shattuck, who makes a gain for the first down and more. He gets it across the 45 into first down territory. We're going to mark it about the 42-yard line of the Raiders.
Well, again, there was one of those plays there. Everybody covered down the field, but Shattuck just works his way off into the side, and Hudson is able to hit him and pick up the first down. St.
Johnsbury right to the line with the 1st and 10 from the Raider 42. Twins to the wide side. They send a man in wheel motion this time, but a fumble between Shattuck and the quarterback. It's picked up by the Raiders. Number 51 with it. He's running, stumbling, bubbling to the 20, 15, and tackled at the 10. Big defensive play for the Raiders here at the beginning of this one, Rick.
Charlie Whittemore chose to pick that up instead of dive on. He had a couple Raiders around him and returns it. And there you go. There's one of those mistakes, the botched handoff. And it works out big in the Raiders' favor, set up inside the 10.
Well, and if you've heard me say it once, I say it a million times every season, this game ain't about who plays the best game. It's about who makes the most mistakes. Right there, a mistake by St. Johnsbury. Rutland, that was what you call a country fumble, too. There was nobody around it, so he could pick it up and run with it, as opposed to a city fumble where you're surrounded. He takes it down to the 10. Now the Raiders have to convert this into points. And it is Nick Bowles bringing it to the line here. Your running back is Wyatt Sosinski, and he gets the toss to the right side. That'll be about a gain of 4, maybe 5 yards. As they started out, first and goal from the 9. He breaks it inside of the 5. Let's see where he bounced down to. About the 2-yard line, it looks like. Good spot for the Raiders.
Yep.
As they'll go second and goal from the 2.
That was a good job by the interior line that time. The little pitch to Sosinski who cut it inside, and a good job of blocking.
Yeah, it looked like Wyatt found the cutback lane, which was helpful. Now, Joe Kuchar wearing Kyle Arnold's old number. He'll be split out to the left-hand side this time for the Raiders, but the handoff goes to Sosinski once again, and he will get down after about a yard gain for the Raiders.
Andrew Biggie, the first one through the line there for St. Johnsbury to keep that play short.
This one-back offense for Rutland looking pretty interesting. They did some of this last year where they put the fullback in at kind of a slot position, run him in motion occasionally when they had Sullivan to be able to clear the way. Not so much right now. One-back set, 2 guys split out.
Third down,
and they will run. Here we go. Here's that set we were talking about. Number 34 set up for the Raiders. That's Samuel Billings, and he goes in motion to lead the way, but we'll have flags across the board. We'll see what the call is.
I think the Raiders had a couple men move there.
Let's hope not. Those mental mistakes can cost you so much so early. It's going to change the complexity of this down, too, if that's the case.
Yeah, certainly. And probably they were going to try to punch that in on the ground, and it is a legal procedure. So now it's probably a throwing down for Nick Bowles here.
Well, before we were talking about the fact they were sending Billings in motion to do the lead right over the center and guard on the right side. Unfortunately, the offsides turns this now into a 3rd and goal from about the 7-yard line. Probably a passing down, although they do come out with Sosinski and Billings as your fullback. Halfback, they run counter boot. Bowles is outside. He's going to decide to tuck it and run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, Nick Bowles, nobody open. Of course, the field gets compressed when you're down there, and he had flooded that side of the end zone, but everybody covered, but it opened up enough room for Bowles.
Yeah, and the first score comes at 8:34 in the first quarter. 6-0 Raiders as they'll get set to do the PAT. And they huddle up here. Nick Bowles stays on the field. He must be holding this year as number 23, doing the honors. Andrew Kanash, not just kicking off, he's also doing the PATs and field goals. And as he gets aligned, Nick ready to catch the snap. Ball's down, kick is up, it's good. And 7-0 Raiders at the 8:34 mark of the first quarter. You are listening to Friday Night Lights on your classic hit station, 94.5 The Drive. Let's take a 30-second timeout.
Kick off!
just like we are, and it was a sauna in here earlier.
Well, about 1 o'clock today when Ernie and I were up here getting set up for the game tonight, yeah. You can definitely feel it.
Oh, yeah. But certainly it has certainly cooled down just a tad now. And actually it's fairly comfortable. Although in the field, obviously this time of year you're going to have some warm games.
That turf radiates, man.
Yeah, it sure does.
No doubt about it. It does make it a little bit warm out there. Dave Tibbs, Rick Goeke with you. And, I do appreciate the sponsors we have right now. Yes. Matt was asking me, any new sponsors? Not really, Matt. I think we're all right there, cuz. Although I'm glad to have Pasquale's back. We went without bomb sub last year. There's a bombing kickoff there. Taken once again by Shattuck. He's bringing it up the middle. Missed tackles allow him to get to the 25-yard line. Hilltoppers will take it 1st and 10 from there with 8:27 left in the first quarter. Raiders up 7-0 if you're just joining us.
Better covering the kick that time by the Raiders than the first one. Quentin Lenoci, the first one down, didn't get him down, but slowed him up enough and turned him into other Raiders that can make the stop.
Yeah, amazingly enough, too, that was more of a line drive kick, a little bit harder to cover, as it were.
No question.
St. Johnsbury comes out, balanced sets with the tight end to the short side. He'll actually call formation into the sideline with 2 running backs in the backfield. He'll hand off to Shattuck on the counter play. He'll break it through the outside, about breaking it through the C gap. I think he picked up about 9 yards to make it a 2nd and 1 for the Hilltoppers.
Well, you can see why this Dylan Shattuck is in there. He's returning kicks, and the first-string running back, and he's good. Does a nice job at finding the hole. Picked up the first down, actually.
Well, and a nice hole there, number 51 leading the way off the line, Xavier Gidding for the St. Johnsbury Hilltoppers. This time they send a man in motion, fake it on the option there to Shattuck, and the quarterback keeps it. And wow, number 11, Colton Hudson making big yardage for another first down. That was actually a 1st and 10 the way they'd marked off the last play. I think he got another first down again, Rick.
Got another 10 there. Yep, you're right. 2 10-yard runs in a row.
Big hole for him on the outside out of the wheel option there. Number 37 was your man in motion. That was Eli Wendell for the Hilltoppers. And he's back out there again as a slot back this time. Twins to the wide side as they line it up. Quarterback hands off to Shattuck up the middle on the inside zone right. Makes about 4 yards on the play to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Hilltoppers right at midfield.
St. Johnsbury's first possession of the game, they did not put the ball on the ground, and this time 3 straight running plays.
Look for as Rutland starts to tighten things up. They might try to go deep, but Rutland staying in a strict cover 2 right now as they fake it to Shattuck, a rollout. And on the waggle pass, he'll be sacked. Caught from behind by number 86, Austin O'Gorman doing the damage.
Austin O'Gorman shows some great speed, able to run Hudson down from behind.
Really well done there by the Raiders. The St. Johnsbury hurries more personnel in. 3rd and 11 now as they're pushed back to their own territory, their own 34-yard line. You got trips up top, and there's nobody out there on him, Rick. They've got 2 guys uncovered. If they don't get over, he's going to have somebody wide open. But here comes the rush, and they throw a screen pass that was called to Shattuck. He gets back to the LOS, and it is buried by the Raiders. They weren't fooled at all.
Well, they weren't fooled when they threw the screen. The only problem was there was no white shirt there to block for him. There was all black shirts around Shattuck that time, and Raiders will get the ball back.
Well, one thing in this offense you look for is the screen package, and I'm sure Norman took the time to really go over that with his D-line, not to get sucked in too much and not to fall for it. There you saw a very patient crew that stayed at home and was able to make the play as St. Johnsbury forced a punt on a 4th and 8. Whistles all over the place, not entirely sure why.
Referees are going to come.
I think it might be too many men on the field for St. Johnsbury. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I didn't see a
7,
flag.
8,
It's
9,
just,
10, 11. There's 11 there. Let's see. No flag. I think they're counting them. I count 11 St. Johnsbury. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, they did call something against the Raiders.
11, 12. There's 12 guys on the field for Rutland.
There you go. So there's your 5-yard penalty, still a punting situation for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, number 72, Adam
is it?
Goeke is coming off. Well, I don't know, 4th down. It looks like they decided to go for it here. And like we said before, they're trying to catch the defense with their pants down. So we're going to get a timeout from Rutland as St. Johnsbury trying to change things up there. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout on your classic hit station. It's Friday Night Lights. Raiders up 7-0 with 6:22 left in the first on 94.5 The Drive.
Those 51-yard field goal for DFA would have been good from 60.
Field, Dave Tibbs, Rick Goeke bringing you the action. St. Johnsbury changing things up as they have now decided to go back to punt formation. I think they would have gone for it had they kept Rutland off kilter.
Probably.
With the timeout, St. Johnsbury decides to go a little bit more conservative and punt this one away. Shattuck doing the punting as it bounces about the 22, rolls down to the 20, and will be down by the Hilltoppers. Raiders will start out from their own 20, 1st and 10.
Kicked it away from the returner that time, and ball just pretty much rolled dead at the 20-yard line. Raiders considerably more field to navigate this time. They started their first drive at the Hilltopper 9.
Yeah, and I love this stadium. I love the way the field looks. You did hear, of course, that the 3 state championship games will be played right here at Alumni Field. Becker on the field with Castleton State come that Sunday, I believe November 9th. So as a result, the games will be played right here at Alumni Field, and a great venue for it and a great night for football as Bowles gets under center. I formation, handoff this time to Wyatt Szynski through a great big hole. He's got the 10 yards for the first down, and more clocking at about a 16-yard gain. They'll mark him at about the 36 of the Raiders.
Huge hole that time for Szynski off the right side. Good job by that offensive line there.
Good to see the line blocking well. That was kind of a weak point last year, and they've really picked it up this year. Blocking, doing a great job clearing the holes so far. Here we go. I formation into the sideline, actually.
A timeout, St. Johnsbury.
As you notice, that was an unbalanced line.
Yep.
I think that caught some of the guys from St. Johnsbury off. They had an unbalanced line going into the sideline. That means 4 linemen to the right of the center. Very interesting stuff. They're going to burn a timeout. We'll stay right here and remind you that more action coming your way on our sister station tomorrow, 1380 WSYB. MSJ opening the season at BFA Fairfax. Should be a great matchup as both teams played hard last year. Fairfax running kind of a wishbone counter style, double slots occasionally. The same kind of offense you'd see out of Navy. And the Mounties, incidentally, running an offense very similar to St. Johnsbury.
If memory serves, last year MSJ had difficulty stopping BFA, but the MSJ offense put a lot of points on the board that day, and BFA just put more on as they were able to run. And when MSJ committed to the run, they let their quarterback throw, and he had some open receivers, and they just lit up the scoreboard that day. But the MSJ offense came of age that day, I think.
Yeah, Colin Gilbert at the helm this year, the senior, going to be doing great things, I think, for the Mounties when they take the field tomorrow at 1 o'clock at St. Peter's Field. Here comes Nick Bowles with the I formation. They set it up. He rolls to the field side off the fake to Szynski, hits the fullback in the flat. Number 34.
Pass complete to
Billings on the reception. That is Samuel Billings. He's a junior for the Raiders.
Yeah, that was Bowles' first pass of the day. He gets a completion under his belt.
It's going to bring up about 2nd and 6. They mark the ball just past the 40-yard line of the Raiders. 7-0 your score, 5:26 left in the first period. Or first quarter. Sorry, it's still in hockey.
Period, quarter.
It's all there. Hand off on the ISO to Szynski. Nice block up front by Billings, but he's only able to pick up about 3 yards on the carry.
Good defensive play by Billy Brink.
Actually going to mark it as only a 2-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down from the 43-yard line of the Raiders. St. Johnsbury right now going with a four-man front, but it's a four-linebacker set, too. They're really walking up Shattuck as that extra linebacker to the weak side and kind of having him shadow the back, who comes out of the backfield now as they go shotgun. The Raiders, good pass. But unfortunately, Joe Kuchar not able to come up with it. He stretched him out a little bit. It was just a bit too high for Kuchar to reach, even with his ability to sky.
Yep, it almost got to the second receiver, who was down the field about 8-10 yards further down, but fell short of that.
So the first errant pass of the evening for Nick Bowles, as it will force the Raiders into a fourth down situation from their own 43. Fourth and about 3. I think they'll call out on the punting team here. And on to punt for the Raiders, number 23, Andrew Kanash. Looks like he does it all.
Looks like it. Punts and kicks.
Excellent snap. Kanash gets it off on 2 steps. A nice wobbling spiral. There's a fair catch called, but he'll let it go past. And the Raiders have a chance to really down it right here. They let it roll inside of the 5 and all the way down to the 3-yard line. Outstanding special teams play for the Raiders.
Bad move by the return man there. He called the fair catch, had time to make that catch and let it hit behind him, and now St. Johnsbury backed up.
Well, Eli Wendell, just a junior for Rich Alorcio's punch, and I'll tell you what, he's probably going to get a talking to a little bit when he comes to the sideline.
Yep. I mean, a lot of times they'll say if you're inside the 10, let it go, but he was certainly out. He was out near the 20.
Yeah, well, actually, I think they actually hit more like the 25. I mean, it was a long, high punt. That's the thing. He just kind of ran under it. When he saw it was a little bit over his head, he gave up hope. You need to back up and catch that. So now St. Johnsbury deep in their own territory at the 3, 1st and 10, inside zone counter. They hand it out to Shattuck, who makes quick work and bounces it out to about the 16-yard line, getting them out of that hole, Rick.
Yeah, it was a pretty good hole in the middle. Raiders were able to close it in time to keep it to 8-yard gain, but pretty good hole at the line of scrimmage.
Shattuck in the backfield. Wendell lining up as a slot back opposite of him to the short side. And then, of course, the quarterback, Hudson, will end up taking this one.
It looked almost like a botched play. The snap was low, and Hudson just picked it up and tried to maneuver it ahead. He may have got
it. Might have been a QB counter.
It might have been. I don't know.
In the playbook too. I know Alorcio's got that in his playbook. So,
but a first down nonetheless.
You'll run that short stuff. That's the thing. When you have an offense like this, you choose those moments to be able to run the clock a little bit. Now the shotgun formation. He drops back. Hudson will be sacked for the second time tonight. Doing the damage this time, number 55 for the Raiders, Joshua White. He is a senior for the Rutland Raiders.
I thought that was Skylar Amario coming around. It was White.
Yeah, it was number 55. Great job, though, on the blitz there as he came around from his defensive end position, beat the tackle who was up against him and just really got the better of him. Forces a 2nd and 15 for the Hilltoppers. Will fake inside zone. Hudson will roll to his left. He chucks it deep. He's got a man open and he makes the catch. He's to the 40, 45, 50. 45, the Raiders drive down. It looks like about the 39-yard line. Number 3 there, Andrew Graciano making the catch. And number 23, that would be Andrew Kanash, the kicker. He's a sophomore corner. They let him get behind. Andrew's playing, I think, maybe a safety there.
Gain of 50.
They're going to actually bring in Joe Kuchar now for Kanash, who left the cover, or who had to get behind him that time. And he was playing corner because here comes Kuchar to cover him outside, but they're going to hand out to Shattuck, who takes the sweep to the wide side, makes a little cut, and then just gets drilled by Joshua White, but not before he's close to another Hilltopper first down.
Again, a great move by Shattuck coming out left and cutting that back. He slipped even as he cut that back inside, but still was able to pick up 7 yards, but did take a good hit from White.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Hilltoppers at the Raider 33-yard line. They're operating from the left hash. Trips to the wide side as they set up now with a doubles look to the other side, tight end there. I think we've got too many people on the field. The tight end came on when they changed the formation. They didn't get the player off before they went to get set. That will draw a flag from the refs.
That was Billy Brink trying to get off in time, but
Rutland taking the opportunity to also make an exchange of players. Number 73 off. That's Dylan Kennedy. Onto the field, number 70, Corey Black now for the Raiders up front. He'll actually go to a nose guard position, it looks like. We've already called out Joshua White tonight. He's playing the defensive end on that weak side. Also number 72 in there, Adam Goeke, who's already had a sack tonight as well. Here comes Hudson rolling out of an empty set. He slips a little bit, saves himself, almost sacked. Now he's still fighting out of it, trying to get back to the LOS and doesn't quite make it. He's going to be dropped for about a 3-yard loss on a 2nd and 8 that now will turn into 3rd and we'll call it 3rd and 13.
Hudson slipped a little bit there, and that really allowed the...
Wow, did they mark him at the 40? Really?
Well, still, that's a loss of a couple.
That's a loss of a couple, but still, the guy never really had forward progress to that point. I would have expected for him to back him up a hair. So here we go. Doubles to each side, twins to each side. So here we go. Drop back, a short screen. It's a slip screen to number 35. And Shattuck makes a move and gets plowed. Oh, my goodness. Who came up with the hit? Number 17, Wyatt Szynski everywhere tonight as he just laid it on him. That's a tattoo. He's going to feel out one in the morning, Rick.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hit there. You're right. Just caught him squarely right in the chest with the helmet. Put him
it was a clean hit, too. I mean, that's the way you tackle. That's the way you bring the wood. As we tick down under the minute mark, Raiders up 7-0. St. Johnsbury driving. They're going to go for it on 4th and 4 from the Raider 34-yard line. Doubles again as they've got 2 people out each side. The catch is made, but his knees were down about the 31-yard line. Looks like they might actually call that a turnover on downs.
Well, yeah, he's got to be short. His knees were down on definitely that side of the yard marker.
And I see
So St. Johnsbury, that big 50-yard completion on that drive, but end up having the ball turned over on downs, and the Raiders will get it back here as we wind to the end of the first.
30-yard line.
40 seconds on the turnover there, on downs that is, as the Raiders will decide to run it, and Szynski slips coming through the hole on the 1st and 10.
We've seen a lot of slips tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's humid. This turf will pick it up a little bit. Plus, you got to figure there's been a few times where Rutland's had to practice on the grass when they've had different things going on with the soccer and lacrosse teams. As a result, you end up getting a different feel when you come back to the turf. But such an excellent playing surface they have here at Alumni Field. It's really outstanding.
Yes, it is.
8 seconds left. We'll see if Bowles can get the snap off before the clock ticks down. He'll do that, and he'll fake it on counter boot. He's out and throws it to the receiver on the sideline. He's cross midfield and pushed out at the 45-yard line. Tristan Stoots, Rocco's little brother, making the catch. That's great to see as the quarter runs out. Raiders on top 7-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You are tuned to Rutland Raider football Friday Night Lights. Up for a long gain tonight, over 48 yards. As here comes Nick Bowles, handed off on the ISO play. It's right up the center. Running back breaks at number 20 there for the Raiders. That's Caleb White on the big carry that yields another first down for Rutland.
First we've seen White, and he rips off 15 quick ones there.
11:53 left in the first half as we've just got the second quarter underway. Raiders on top 7-0, and they've driven it down to the 29 of St. Johnsbury. 1st and 10. We're looking to put more points on the board before halftime.
A big possession here now for the Raiders, trying to get some separation between them and St. Johnsbury in this drive.
I formation as they hand off again to the short side this time. It's White again carrying the football. Finally drugged down after about a 5-yard gain. Call it second and we'll call it 2nd and 6. We'll give him a 4-yard gain on that.
So we saw, it's a totally different running backs for the Raiders here in the second quarter as opposed to the first. We saw some of that last year with Mike Norman, the way he would change up his running backs from quarter to quarter.
Well, it's good. It keeps him fresh, and he's got a lot of talent on this team. It's good to spread it around, especially on the first game. He might still be looking, too, to see who the team leaders will be with this young squad he's got. As they go twins to the wide side this time, high formation with the tight end toward the sideline. 2nd and 6 as the handoff, not fooling anybody. He gets met right at the line of scrimmage. And let's see who that was. Number 20, it was Caleb White carrying the football.
It was Billy Brink making the stop right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain.
You know, I'm thinking Norman will go with his bread and butter here. He's found success throwing to the fullback out of the backfield already tonight. This is a situation to do so. He's got a 3rd and 6 in St. Johnsbury territory. Something tells me we're going to see the fullback out of the backfield and the first down for the Raiders. We're in I formation. That's a good start. Twins to the left side. There's your fake. He's got the fullback in the flat, but he's got a better target deep, and it's a fight for the football. It looks like the Raiders will come down with it. Joe Kuchar with the catch. Just the way Kuchar brings down the ball whenever he's up there playing basketball, getting the rebounds. He went up tall for that one and came down with it for the touchdown. 13-0 Raiders at the 10-14 mark in the second quarter.
Nick Bowles hung that up just a little bit and allowed Brennan Smith to get there in defensive coverage. Kuchar had him beat. And then they both went up, and Kuchar able to get a little bit higher and just take the ball.
Well, and part of it was position. You know, Kuchar really worked himself in front of him. And even though Brendan Smith went up first, Kuchar kind of came up, got position, and then muscled it away from him. A great job by Joe to get the touchdown for the Raiders on the jump ball thrown by Nick Bowles, who's now holding for the extra point. Number 23, Andrew Kanashian to kick it. The sophomore boots it through for another extra point. 14-0 Raiders on top at the 10-14 mark in the second quarter. Let's take a 30-second timeout. It is your news. It is Friday Night Light. I almost say SYB. It's yeah, there you go.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. But hey, it is Friday Night Light.
He looks good in it.
Station is you've got football at St. Peter's Field along with sports talk. I believe y'all do that one from there. And Sports talk about 11 o'clock. Kickoff for MSJ and BFA Fairfax at 1 o'clock. Pregame about 10 till 1. With Carlton Laird and Rick Goeke. As it stands, we got 14-0, 10-14 left in the second quarter. Rutland up and kicking this one away is Kanash. He kicks a wobbler that bounces around, bobbled by the running back, who immediately is dropped at the 20. Eli Wendell just unable to get a handle on it initially, and it cost him on the return.
Well, you caught it a wobbly, and then when it bounced wobbly, and it was one of those not quite close enough to the sideline where you could let that possibly go out of bounds. He had to handle it.
So St. Johnsbury will take over the ball, running their no-huddle spread offense. It's very unique, something Rich Alosio, their head coach, made famous at Castleton, and it's something that's become very popular in the D1 level in college. You see Oregon run this offense quite frequently. As it stands, trips to the wide side as Hudson takes the snap, throws a bubble screen out to the wide side. He gets over to the 20, but is immediately dropped on 1st and 10 by number 22 of the Raiders. That's Steven Anderson, who's a junior. Used to, I believe he played at Rutland, or at MSJ for a while. Played basketball and football there for the Mounties for a while. Transferred over last year for basketball to play here at Rutland, and now is making some noise on the football team. Empty set this time for Hudson, the quarterback for St. Johnsbury. He'll throw it over the middle, almost picked off. Number 51, Charles Whitmore, staying at home and almost coming down with that one, Rick.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He stayed at home right in the middle of the field and just about had him. He had that big fumble recovery earlier and almost had himself an interception right then.
That brings up a 3rd and 9 for the Hilltoppers. 9:34 left in the second.
Third down and 8 for the Academy.
Hudson, do what?
First incompletion for Hudson.
He's got trips to the wide side. They're operating from the left hash. He makes the fake inside zone, rolls out, and hits the back in the flags, but Shattuck unable to pick up more than a couple of yards, bringing up a 4th, and we'll call it 7. Maybe 4th and 6. Still punting down regardless for the Hilltoppers. We'll bring on a few extra players, but Shattuck, the running back who just made the catch, also does the punting duties for St. Johnsbury. And they struggle to get everybody onto the field, but now that that's done, they'll kick this one away. Oh, bobbled snap, and Shattuck barely gets it away. We're going to, I think he got a piece of the ball. I don't see any flags.
The referee was right there. I didn't see him get a piece of the ball, but the referee's a lot closer than I was.
I think because
I thought he was going to reach for the flag himself.
I honestly did too, but a no call there by the ref. And he laid Shattuck out, and it looks like Rich Alosio's out there right now having a discussion. And we both know when Rich gets a little bit heated, he'll bring the wood with the ref, and that looks exactly like what's going on now. He wanted an explanation, and he wanted a big one, and he still hollered at the guy. Good night. I think Rich just got a little perturbed.
Well, you know, he's got a tough angle, too, from where he was there, but boy, the referee was right on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he must have saw something because he obviously didn't throw the flag on what would routinely be called roughing the kicker. As it stands, a 1st and 10 from the Raiders for their own 48, as he sends a man in motion out of the backfield. Sosinski looks to him, but now he throws back across the middle, almost picked off. Dangerous pass by Nick Bowles, not noticing number 86, Brennan Smith, who was just sort of lumbering there into the position. He was playing corner, and kind of a zone look on the drop deep by the Hilltoppers.
Just tried to put some air into that, lob it in there, and didn't get it far enough, and Smith.
Yeah, a touch pass on a seam route that really just, you can't throw that into traffic, because if you don't zip that in there, you're going to give the free world time to run under it and get the pass. As it stands, a 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders, who have the tight end to the short side, but now sends Sosinski in motion. Now one back in the backfield, and they hand it to him. And that is a decent run there by number 34, Samuel Billings, your fullback now for the Raiders. He picks up maybe, well, they're going to give him 5 yards. Wow.
Yep, it was a good run there by the fullbacks. Forgot his name. Sam Billings. Yeah, they put Sosinski in motion, went out right, left him the lone setback there, and right up the middle.
3rd and 5 on this one here.
He got almost 6 there, Dave.
So what?
They gave him almost 6.
Yeah, they did. As they go shotgun this time, twins to the wide side as Bowles will look that way. He's got a man open in the middle, but it glances off of his hands. Number 83, William Peterson, unable to come up with it, the senior receiver for the Raiders. 8:01 mark of the second quarter brings up a fourth down situation with the Raiders leading by 14. St. Johnsbury still unable to light up the scoreboard with that electrifying offense of theirs. We'll see what can happen as Kanash back to punt this one away from the Raiders. His heels on his own 40-yard line. Looks like number 83 back this time. Or 87 maybe. It would be Jarrett Bridges, and he's going to call a fair catch on this one and receive it about the 18-yard line. That's where St. Johnsbury will start up this drive, 1st and 10.
Well, so far the Kanash's punting skills are pretty good. He's getting a lot of air under it, getting it up there. And that's 2 punts now that were both called for fair catches.
Yeah, well, not to mention his kickoffs and place kicking's been good. Brings back, reminiscent of the Nate Swan days. Nate Swan was a great player here for Rutland, and he's now in school over at Castleton State.
Really had a leg.
Yeah, he did.
Still does.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does surf occasionally, but no shark reports, so, Here we go, St. Johnsbury out of that shotgun. They're going to hand it off on the inside zone. He ends up bouncing it outside, and here he goes, folks. He's off to the races, 30, 35, and finally knocked out of bounds, probably about the 37-yard line of the Hilltoppers.
Well, that's a great run by Shattuck, an injured Raider down as well, but a great run. Well, Shattuck to bounce out and get the corner.
Well, the thing was, too, it was designed to be an inside zone, but what happened was there was never the defensive end to keep contained. He's got to get outside and drive that back in where he's got help. Nobody got outside to contain Shattuck as he hit the corner. As a result, he was able to turn it upfield and gain significant yardage for the Hilltoppers there. 1st and 10. It looks like they'll mark him about their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, once he got around, I mean, there was 4 or 5 Raiders that had somewhat of a shot at him, but once he got around the last one, he had some open green in front of him.
Now they'll take a little time out here, it looks like, as a player down for the Raiders, number 22 it would appear. I believe that's Steven Anderson, who we were just mentioning on a good play there for the Raiders earlier. Transferred over from MSJ last year, played basketball for the Raiders, and is now showing his stuff on the football field. Looks like he'll be all right. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. As he gets helped off the field, he walks off under his own power, actually. That's good to see. We're talking right now to Kanash, who's been playing some cornerback tonight. He's young, just a sophomore, but Norman putting some faith in him as he takes his position on this defense.
Yeah, he's had a lot of action so far.
And I find it interesting. Norman doesn't usually have sophomore corners. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this kid must have something. As he actually rolls up now as a free safety with twins to the wide side, they'll end up rolling it up. Almost looks like, well, it's a straight 44 look. We'll just call it a nickel. As he hands off to Shattuck. Shattuck, though, finding holes up the middle, and it's Kanash who brings him down at midfield after a big gain on the inside zone play.
Well, Shattuck, I'm just impressed with him, the way he's very patient to find a hole, and if it's not there, he'll find one someplace, and that time he waited for the blocking up front and was able to get through, picked up about 14.
Well, I like his ability to accelerate. It seems like he's patient up to the hole, but man, when he wants to turn it on, Cuz has some wheels.
And he brings a pretty good lick when he gets into that secondary.
Yeah, he ain't bouncing around people. He's running them over. As a 1st and 10 now on the Raider 49, the handoff to Shattuck as he comes all the way around, but this time it is stuffed. Number 55, Joshua White, with another tackle for the Raiders.
No, a couple Raiders with shots at him, strung it out enough, and White was able to get there and make sure he didn't get to the corner that time.
Good job by the Raiders to string it out that time as he was trying to get all the way around to the outside. Something you'll see a lot with this running game. They either run it up inside or try to bounce it outside and see how far they can get before they turn it up. At the moment, they're having success with the run as they've got a 2nd and 9 now for the Hilltoppers. Fake to Shattuck this time. Hudson looking deep. He will throw the out route. Did he come up with it?
He did.
They say yes. That'll put him about the 41-yard line of the Raiders.
Joe McCabe.
3rd and 1 it looks like we'll have, or maybe 3rd and 2 it looks like. 3rd and 2 for the Hilltoppers. 6:31 left in the second quarter. Plenty of time for them to work this out for a touchdown.
This is something they would really like to have here now, getting 2 scores down.
For the Academy.
Shotgun Twins to the right side. That's the wide side for those of you listening at home. He's going to catch the ball, and it's a quarterback draw, and he makes some significant yards for the first down, all the way down to the 35 of the Raiders.
Third first down on this drive for St. Johnsbury.
And it seems as though the passing game is set up to run for St. Johnsbury. You know, with these formations, Rutland keeps having to honor the pass, but it just seems like it's opening rush lanes for the St. Johnsbury backs. 1st and 10 on the carry there by Hudson as they now set up 1st and 10 from the 35 of the Raiders. Same formation, Twins to the wide side. This time a counter to Shattuck. Tailback picks up yards. About, we'll call it a 7-yard gain there for the Hilltoppers, which will bring up a 2nd and 3. They get a 2nd and 4. They'll give them 6.
Kirby and Black with the tackle.
Same formation, Twins to the wide side. You'll see them do this. This formation, they'll actually have about 3 different plays they can run off the same play. Might be an inside zone, might be a bubble, might be a hitch. You see the bubble there, but instead they're going to run the quarterback sweep out of it, and he'll get drugged down behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like number 41 on there, but I don't see a 41 on the roster, so let's see here. 51
with the tackle.
Was it Whittemore? It might very well.
I think they said Sims, but I wasn't sure who they called on that. In any event, a 3rd and long now, 3rd and 6 for the Hilltoppers. Twins to the wide side. They stay in that formation. Raiders with cover 2, it looks like, because they throw the screen out to, oh, wow. Cover 2, and they throw a screen out there to Eli Wendell, who brings it for another first down by the Hilltoppers. Everybody got run off by the receivers, Rick, and just opened up a huge hole.
That wasn't very well covered there. There was a lot of area out there, and when he also had blockers out there, picked up 17.
St. Johnsbury back at it. Twins this time to the left side. Quarterback draw. And he's got room. Hudson runs it all the way in for a touchdown. Hilltoppers on the board at the 4:20 mark of the first half, second quarter. That makes it 14-6. Wow, that was a surprising move by Hudson, who just saw an open center and took it in.
9 plays, 82 yards. A big drive for St. Johnsbury.
Big play there by Hudson to put St. Johnsbury on the board. They are now down only 8 points. Let's see if they can cut that to a touchdown and a field goal as they are out to kick it now. Snap's good. Kick is blocked.
Someone forgot to block Austin O'Gorman right up the middle.
Right up the middle, and he takes care of business.
Blocked by O'Gorman.
14-6 your score. The PAT blocked for St. Johnsbury. Let's take a 30-second timeout. It is 94-5 the drive. Raiders up 14-6. It's Friday Night Lights. Good evening. Like Jason McFarland, number 60.
Pun Senatawanaco.
I'll let you handle that one, Des.
Pun is from Thailand.
Pun is from
I was
Thailand.
talking to Rich before the game. I told Rich Lucio he's got players from Thailand. He's got one from China. He's got one from Africa.
He's going to set up his own model year in there, you know? Well, Pun is about ready to try to kick this one. Pun's a big boy,
He's a
too.
big boy, isn't he?
Yeah, I was like, wow, really? Here goes Pun. No pun intended. I had to. It's a bouncer. Oh, boy, and it takes a while to get fielded. They finally do pick it up. Looks like Wyatt Sosinski will break it to the outside to the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Bounced out of bounds at the St. Johnsbury 36-yard line. Great kickoff return by Wyatt Sosinski.
And that was one of those where, you know, the kick, as it turned out, wasn't going to be that bad. It took a nice high hop. You had two Raiders, like, both trying to grab it. And by all that time, St. Johnsbury was down, overran the coverage, really, and let Sosinski get to the edge and get the Raiders in good position.
Well, Caleb White and Wyatt Sosinski both there to get the kickoff, and Wyatt comes away with it and takes off up the sidelines for a big gain and great field position for the Raiders to get started here.
Rutland has certainly had the better of it in field position-wise in this game.
4:11 left in the first half. 14-6 your score as the Raiders trying to put more points on the board before halftime. Halftime will be brought to you by Wilk Paving. Stay tuned for that.
It's the second time they have started in St. Johnsbury territory.
Yeah, a few guys actually started before the snap of the ball there. A number of gentlemen on the left-hand side for Rutland getting a head start. We'll back them up 5, making it a 1st and 15. Ball will be spotted at the 42-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Don't forget, more action for you tomorrow on our sister station, SYB. MSJ taking on BFA Fairfax. 1 o'clock kickoff from St. Peter's Field in the Mounties opener. As it stands, 14-6 here. Raiders back to the line. One back in the backfield, and they'll pitch it to him. Looks like Caleb White. He'll find the cutback lane, picks up some yardage to the 35.
They set a nice job with White to cut that back and pick up about 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's going to bring up about a second, and we'll call it second.
Oh, we got another penalty against Rutland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mike Norman hates to have mental mistakes, and that's what we appear to be having right now for the Raiders. And the student section chiming in. I bet this is a holding penalty. It's got that feel to it. Oh, yeah. Holding on the Raiders. They'll back them up another 10 into their own territory now. First and a different zip code from the 49-yard line of the Raiders.
Started this drive at the 37 of St. Johnsbury and now sit at their own 49.
Pulls under center. He's got twins to the short side. Takes the snap, drops back, looks him off, and throws it over the middle. A poorly placed pass to Caleb White. Had the ball been up a little bit more, I think Caleb could have caught it on the dead run and been gone, but it was a little too low for him. He just couldn't come away with it.
Just that seam route that time, and it was thrown at his ankles. That was the problem there. Had he got it up a little bit, you're right. He had one guy, really, that he was beating at the time, and he could have run for a while.
Raiders will be faced with a second and... It's
24.
Yeah, 24. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot we have the new scoreboard, too, so.
Oh, there you go.
But they still have 10 to go up there, so. It's all right. They're
Still have 3 timeouts up there, too, and they've both taken one, at least.
Yeah. Make that, actually, I think that's the last timeout for Rutland. Because they took 2. I think they've taken 2 already, so this might be the last one. So it should be the last timeout for Rutland. 14-6 with 3:55 left. Let's take a 30-second timeout.
a lot more than that.
2, 4, Billings, the fullback, as they send a man in motion and hand it off on the speed, and there he goes. He's on the speed. He's got around to the 40 and bounced off another one, and then gets it back to the original line of scrimmage of 37. That's number 86, Austin O'Gorman with the carry.
We mentioned the speed that O'Gorman had early in this game from a defensive line position, and they tried to use it that time with him coming in motion and getting the handoff. Got all the negative yardage back.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, a much more manageable down as Bowles gets the play from Mike Norman and sprints back to the huddle. 3:28 left in the second.
Still plenty of time for the Raiders. Now you worry about picking up this first down and going from there.
Man in motion is O'Gorman. They fake it to him this time and hand off to the fullback, Billings, who rumbles ahead to the 30-yard line, picking up about 7 on the carry. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3.
And again, a manageable 4th down, so that's the good job by Billings. Again, hit at the line of scrimmage, was able to bounce that, pick up 7 yards. Good job there.
2:49 left in the first half. Raiders trying to put some points on the board before it ends. They will have a 4th and 3. This is a good down to go for it, as they are just 3 yards from a first down. They're on the 30-yard line of St. Johnsbury.
Even though we're still in the first half, this is a pretty big down in this game right here.
Yes, it is. And we're going to end up getting a timeout to Rutland. That will be the last one, yeah. 14-6 your score. They take a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout on your classic hit station. It's Friday Night Lights on 94.5 The Drive. Put up another touchdown before the half, Rick.
Yeah, well, you know, I certainly don't want to turn the ball over on a punt here, and probably a 47-yard field goal at this stage for Kanash is probably out of the question, so...
Cuz has a leg, but he ain't quite there yet, you know?
Yep.
So here we go, shotgun formation. Dime look for the Hilltoppers, who come with a 5-man rush. Bowles looking deep. He gets hit as he tossed out. What a play! The ball was going to be caught by Kuchar. It sails over his head and instead gets caught by Wyatt Sosinski, who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. First down, Raiders.
Well, Nick Bowles has struggled a little bit tonight with putting the ball where he wants to put it, but Sosinski up with a huge play there.
Well, Nick got lit up, too, as he let go of the ball. So, I mean, that was really a great job of staying in the pocket and delivering the bean.
And that was just, it was buried into Sosinski. Almost couldn't catch that one. It was just stuck to him.
Yeah. 2:13 left, clock running as Bowles hands it off to Wyatt, this time to the wide side. He finds a big hole and a rumble down inside of the 10-yard line of St. Johnsbury.
Wyatt Sosinski's had a nice game.
They're going to put it about the 6-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Clock still running with 1:55 left in the second. Raiders up 14-6, and they now face a 2nd and 1 on this play.
Almost just short of that first down. Almost gives them an extra down here inside the 10-yard line.
Kuchar split wide. Look for a fade route. Now they're going to hand it off to Sosinski, who gets inside for the first down. It's going to bring up a 1st down and 4. They mark it at the 4-yard line of the Hilltoppers. clock will stop on the first down so they can move the chains.
This has turned into a pretty nice drive for the Raiders. Remember, the first two plays were penalties on this drive. They were backed up 15 yards in the first two plays, and they've come back and got the first down and now inside the 5.
Yeah, let's not forget that fortuitous fourth down that just occurred too. So Raiders with a pro set this time. They'll snap the ball, hand it off to the fullback, Samuel Billings. He'll be close to the goal line, but I think he might be down about the 1.
Raiders done a nice job on this clock right now as we click under a minute.
Second down.
Pulls right back to the line, pro set. He's going to hand off again to Samuel Billings, who will punch it into the end zone for a touchdown.
8 plays, 37 yards for the Raiders, and they actually had to go 51 or 2.
Great job by the Raiders punching that one in. At the 51-second mark of the second quarter, they will take a 20-6 lead with the extra point on the way now. Andrew Kanash in to kick it. At halftime, we might have an appearance here by the head coach of MSJ, which would be Jeff Casarino.
Of course, Jeff in the stands tonight. His son plays on this Raider team.
Yeah, Andy just deciding, too, he's going to be a pitcher for Union.
Nice.
So, yeah, he's going to be a Flying Dutchman here. Ball is down, kick is up. Kanash nails it. Also, might have a visit from Amber and Kwame from Z97. They've got Z-Factor going on. We'll touch on that maybe here at halftime as well. As we take a 30-second timeout, Raiders up now 21-6. As we head to this timeout, let's take a 30-second one on your classic hit station, 94.5 The Drive.
Sports Talk.
I heard that. Yeah.
He did a nice job with that.
Yeah, Matt, I forgot to mention that too. He did a great job, actually. Maybe that's his next step. Maybe he needs to be on that side of the mic.
He certainly brought a little bit to Sports Talk that doesn't get talked about a lot with a lot of us that do it on a regular basis. So he brought some, what is it, MMA?
Yeah.
Mixed
martial arts?
He asked me about that one day. I was doing it. He said, I was going to ask you a question. I said, I really don't know anything about it.
Well, it's fun like that. We all have our expertise. I'm a football guy. Carlton's a hockey guy. You kind of know all the sports. Here comes Kadash. He gets the kick off. It's high, and about the 10-yard line is where it'll be fielded by Shattuck, who breaks it up the middle, finds some running room, jumps through, and will spin out to the 39-yard line of the Hilltoppers. What would you say is your specialty, Rick?
Dave, I don't know.
Golf?
I really don't golf. Yeah. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so, but it may, my scores aren't always indicative that I know everything about it.
Well, when it comes to golf, I think really my expertise lies in getting all the drink orders right with the beer cart girl. I really excel when I'm out there doing that.
There's something to be said for that.
Well, I like to think so, Empty set for St. Johnsbury is trying to get the coverage right here for the Raiders, and we're going to get a quarterback draw, and there goes Hudson. He's to the 45, the 40, and drug down about the 38-yard line of the Raiders. They spread the coverage, and then boom, ran it right up the middle.
They did it. It was very quick, too. They went on the first sound, and kind of caught the Raiders a little bit napping there.
Another empty set, and they're trying to get them set right now to see who's going to pick up who in this empty set as Dylan Hudson drops back, makes the throw, and it's picked off. Number 51 for the Raiders making the big play. That's Charles Whitmore again.
Well, we mentioned he almost had one a little while ago. This one, same thing, stayed at home, right in the middle of the field, that middle linebacking spot. threw it right to him.
And it's a cover 2 zone they're running. It's a man zone where they're going man on the outside receivers, but really keeping it zone across the middle, under zone, if you will. You see that a lot in the NFL, too. They've done a great job of playing it, and that's why Whitmore has been right there in the center on several of these plays, finally pulling down an interception. He'd already tipped a couple tonight, as Rick mentioned.
Yeah, it's a big fumble recovery.
Exactly. Now the Raiders get another opportunity with 29 seconds left in the first half. Let's see what Norman has in his playbook for this occasion as they start out 1st and 10 from the 47 of St. Johnsbury. We're going to have the whistles blow.
St. Johnsbury timeout.
Yeah, Hilltoppers will take a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Raiders up 21-6 with 29 seconds left in the first half.
There. And
that's always there to happen.
His number.
Yeah, exactly. I've done it before too, man. Hey, here we go. Bowles with the snap. You have one man in the backfield, but he's going to chuck it deep to Joe Kucher. He'll come away with the catch, and he's going to trot into the end zone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Nice hook up there in front by the Raiders with just 20 seconds left in the first half. 27-6 is what that makes it, as we have an injury for St. Johnsbury right now. Looks like this humidity getting to one of the gentlemen there. Yeah, cramping up a little bit. Eat a few more bananas and you'll be fine.
Well, I'll tell you, Kucher has made 2 catches tonight, both that he was able to get
That's 2
higher
touchdowns
than
for
the receiver. Yeah, both that he was able to get higher than the receiver, or the defender, and go up and really just take it away from him. He did it right then.
Well, of course, Jerry Kucher was a standout receiver for MSJ back in the day, would end up playing his trade at Merrimack College, and now his son, Joe Kucher, showing the same kind of skills with 2 touchdowns tonight in this opening first half of the season for the Rutland Raiders.
Yeah, it's certainly good to see. One play, 53-yard drive for the Raiders.
As they now are getting the player off the field, that was number 3 with the cramps, Andrew Graciano. Nice round of applause from the packed house here at Alumni Field. It looked like it filled in nicely as we got underway tonight, Rick.
Yeah, no question about it. Good crowd.
And looks like Andrew Kanash, the sophomore for the Raiders, about ready to tee this one up, or kick the PAT. They don't tee it up, but you know what I'm saying. That's the cool thing. Sebastian over at MSJ right now doesn't use a tee. I've actually seen.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, amazing. And for that, I got to send out the disclaimer here. I am coaching at MSJ this season, so I'll just go ahead and say that now. So that's the only reason I know that. 20 seconds left in the first half. 27-6 as Andrew Kanash bangs it home for the Raiders. Nice kick, man. He really has a leg. Wow.
Hold that one.
Well, it's 28-6 for the Raiders. Well, did they call it good?
He missed it left.
He missed it left. Okay, it looked like it went through.
Hard to tell.
Well, you know, I'm still looking to get that new pair of glasses, too, so we need to get one of them for a sponsor. That would be good. Okay, 20 seconds left in the second quarter. 27-6 your score. We'll stay right here for the moment as, lots of stuff going on right now. The Red Sox are doing well. Of course, they've been on quite a bit this summer on our sister station, SYB. You can catch them all the way through the playoffs there because right now, with them being first in the AL East, I'm thinking we're going to be seeing that.
And here, the Raiders with 2 touchdowns in 31 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's something really that would be more characteristic out of the offense that St. Johnsbury runs, but this is their first year to do it, so they're still trying to find the handle on this one.
Interesting. I always find the first week in high school, really the first 2 or 3 weeks, fascinating because it's really hard to tell who's got what until you get a few games under your belt and see it. All eyes tonight will look on Hartford and playing down in Mount Anthony. See how the Hurricanes come back again, going for, what is it, their 4th straight?
Yeah, I believe so.
Championship
Under Mike Stone. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, too. Realize, too, the Raiders, if they can get on the winning track, they pull Essex here at home.
Yep.
They pull BFA St. Albans here at Alumni Stadium as well. I think Middlebury comes to town, too. So you're looking at a really good schedule for the Raiders who they kick a dribbler, and the knees hit by the receiver there, number 39, I believe that was, Ryan Hoff for St. Johnsbury. His knees hit the ground. It's down right there as they will take possession with 18 seconds left in the second quarter. 1st and 10 at the 26.
We got a little bit of a break there because that kick went right to Hoff, and he would have had one running room had he been able to not touch his knee to the ground when he was trying to pick that up.
So here we go, 1st and 10, 18 seconds left. They will have Shattuck in the backfield, but they'll go trips to the wide side. There's the snap, 3-step drop by Hudson, who gets chased out of the backfield and will run out of bounds after about a 2 or 3 yard gain for the Hilltoppers.
Hudson on the keeper.
27-6 your score, 11.4 seconds left. We now get the .4 on the new scoreboard, so that's kind of nice. Second down, about the 29-yard line. I'd say it's a 2nd and 8. As Hudson will take a 3-step drop, he looks for the screen pass to Shattuck, completes it. He's up to the 35, the 40, 45, 50. 45 again, he's taken down right there. Number 23, the safety, was back. That would be Kanash, who had the big tackle, the touchdown saving tackle, if you will.
Yeah, gain of about 29 on that play, but it runs the clock all the way down to 0.2 seconds, and St. Johnsbury takes its last time out.
Yeah, and this is a time now where, with the old scoreboard, that would have run out. Yep. Now they've got 0.2 seconds. Let's see if that translates to points, because with the timeout, the clock won't start again until the ball is snapped.
Well, you'd like to think you have one play here that you're going to try to do, although they've been able to try to get that ball in Shattuck's hands in the open field, and he can make things happen. So,
yeah, but I think with the zone coverage they're running, it's going to be a case of either how far Hudson can throw it or how far they can run him off before Hudson takes off with the ball. Yep. I think it'll be one of the two. Either that or else they'll run it to where they clear out the zone and then throw to Shattuck underneath and see if he can't make something happen on the last play. There's a lot of variables with this offense that has trips to the wide side, Shattuck in the backfield with Hudson, and one man split out to the short side. He's kind of on an island out there, too. I think they have Kuchar out there to guard him, though. Yeah, Kuchar out there to guard him. As there's the horn to end the first half. A deep throw is going to be almost, wow, if number 86 would have caught that, that'd be Brennan Smith. Cuz had nothing but green.
You're right. Peterson made maybe a kind of bit of a mistake there. He came up really trying to pick that instead of laying back and just knocking it away. And almost worked big time for St. Johnsbury.
We've got highlights coming up on your Wilk Paving halftime show. Wilk Paving, the sponsors of the halftime report.
After you got up the left.
I would sell tickets for that. Start selling tickets. All I would do. That in the raffle, how many bones you break in the landing? I make a lot of money on the raffle. Or the big people I mean.
Everybody's looking for scores around here, but we don't have much access tonight as we look around the state.
Well, there we go. Raiders about ready to receive the kickoff. Looks like they got Kuchar, and who's the other boy back? I can't quite make out the number.
I can't make out the number either.
By the way, Raiders in their all black with the white helmets tonight. St. Johnsbury in all white with silver helmets, green numbers on their jerseys. Oh, that's Wyatt. Yeah, it's Wyatt. So Wyatt Sosinski back with Joe Kuchar, and here's your kickoff from Pun. And it scoots by. It is picked up by Kuchar about the 18. He gets it around the corner. He's got running room as he lays a shoulder into a boy about the 45-yard line of the Raiders.
Well, Quinn Lenoci got just enough of a block to let Kuchar get the corner. And only two St. Johnsbury guys there. He was able to beat them both and get pretty good starting field position once again for the Raiders.
Yeah, routinely you wouldn't expect for a kick like that to go for that far, but he broke it up the sideline, and Kuchar's just so talented at finding the hole.
Once again, the Raiders, their worst position tonight. They started up their 20 one time, at their 30 the next, but other than that, they're within 5 yards of midfield or in St. Johnsbury territory.
27-6 your score. Raiders on top the first possession of the second half with I formation, and the handoff this time to number 20. That's Caleb White out of the tailback position, rumbling ahead for what might be a first down for the Raiders on the first play of the second half.
Oh, a good run, and again, a nice job by White to get behind the blockers, not run faster than they before the hole was made, and able to get through that hole and pick up about 9, I believe.
If you're just joining us, it is Friday Night Lights on 94.5 The Drive. 27-6 your score. Raiders up as we're just underway here in the second half. Raiders with the 1st and 10 now in St. Johnsbury territory. Ball marked about the 47-yard line. I formation.
7-yard line.
They're going to hand the ball off again to Caleb White, who finds the hole. He busts through to the 35, 30, spins out of it to the 25, and finally dragged down at the 20.
Well, Caleb White with 2 big runs.
Churning and burning, baby.
Yeah.
He hit the hole, and he just kept them legs pumping, and that's what got him the yards.
And went through an arm tackle that just spun him around, and he stayed on his feet. Give him 28.
11:32 left in the third quarter, just underway here in the second half as the Raiders with the first possession of the second half and moving the ball quite well. It's that unbalanced look again to the left side as they end up running to that side, and Caleb White stacked up. I think the unbalanced look occasionally tips off the linebackers that it might be coming that way.
Yeah, so Billy Brink would have none of it that time. He's had a pretty good game defensively for St. Johnsbury.
Dave, Tibbs, Goeke here with you live from Alumni Stadium. We'll have another game for you on our sister station, 1380 WSYB. 1 o'clock kickoff. Drew SJ and BFA Fairfax. Carlton Laird and Rick Goeke bringing you the action tomorrow. I formation. And it's a toss sweep to Caleb White, who takes it for a couple of yards, spins through. He's really got that spin down, Rick.
Yep, well, he did on the big run. He just spun away from someone and did it again there.
Well, it's going to be about a 6-yard gain. Call it 3rd and 4 for the Raiders.
Shannon and Brink with the tackle.
Here we go from a pro set. They'll hand off to the fullback this time, and Samuel Billings with a couple of yards close to a Raider first down. We'll see what they call.
With the carry.
Let's see where that gets marked.
Yeah, he was hit by a host of hilltoppers.
Well, where they marked it looked like it's going to be enough.
Company with the tackle.
And I don't know if they're going to measure it or what. They're checking it out. Very near the first down. They are going to measure, I believe.
We'll march the chains out. It would be a 4th down situation if they don't make it. So let's see what they find here on the chains.
Well, it's going to be 4th and somewhere around the football if it's not there now.
I'd say they got it.
Yeah, it's very close.
(27-6) your score. Raiders up as they bring the chain gang out, stretch it across the ball, and they got it, I think. It's just by
A
the
long
hair.
time to cipher it out.
It's first down. Yeah, I was going to say, if they didn't get it, it's by the hair of their chinny chin chin. First down, Raiders. They will be working now from the 9-yard line of St. Johnsbury, called 1st and goal for the Rutland Raiders.
3rd first down on this drive for Rutland.
And away we go. I formation with Kucher out to the wide side. Tight end to the short side. Actually, 2 tight ends in this time as they run the power back to Caleb White. No, Bowles keeps it on the boot. He's going to try to get it himself and come very close. We get a flag late, though. And I think we're going to have a clipping call here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely a block in the back of some kind there. As Bowles got it down to the 1.
Well, and it almost looked like it was unnecessary, like it occurred away from the ball almost. Didn't really have an effect on the play.
Hold, but yeah.
It looked like a clip, though. You saw what I saw, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not entirely sure who did it, but they got him about the 5-yard line or so and gave him a good pop.
And you're right, it was actually behind the play as they had already left that spot.
So that will back up the Raiders, who had a 1st and goal from the 9. It's now going to make it 1st and goal from about the 20-yard line of St. Johnsbury. Of course, Mike Norman hates it when they have these mental mistakes, and this could be, this is where you learn to put a game away, too.
Yep.
You know, I'm 27-6. You score right here, you're making a big mountain for them to have to climb back up. As Bowles drops back on 1st and goal and throws one that hits the ground early. Nick is...
What's a little off, I think.
Yeah, just a hair.
Yep.
What's his completion tonight? Do we know?
We do know. He's 4 for 8 now.
4 for 8 now, so he's still trying to get his feel for it. Heaven knows he's got a cast of receivers that anybody would love to have.
Yeah, and he seems to. And, the one that stuck out tonight really has been Kucher with those two touchdown catches.
Well, and he's been willing to go and get the ball. I think that's the important thing. He has receivers who aren't just expecting it to be delivered perfectly. And Kucher in motion now is one back in the backfield for the Raiders. They'll hand off to that back, which is Samuel Billings. That was on a 2nd and goal from the 20. It's going to now bring up a 3rd and goal. Pardon me. 3rd and goal. They'll mark the ball at about the 17-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Tibbs, Rick Goeke here with you. Some of the motorcycles we came down the mountain with earlier here on the drive starting to make their way back as we see several of them with their bikes all aglow with different lights.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah, it is. Here comes Nick Bowles with Samuel Billings, your lone back. Twins to the short side, and that's where he'll look. Throws the quick out, but overthrows it. He's not setting his feet.
Yeah, I think that could be it right now. And, that's something that will come.
Well, that's mechanics, though. That's something you work at in your drills when you're doing pre-practice and such. And he's not setting his feet, and as a result, he's trying to strong-arm it out there, and he's just not getting the touch he wants. He's got to set his feet and deliver the football, square his shoulders, and get the target down. He's just not quite hitting it tonight. That makes him, 4-9? Yep. 27-6, Raiders up. They're going from the gun on a 4th and goal from the 17-yard line Bulls drops back. He's got to look to the end zone. Finds Kuchar, who's looking for the end zone for the third time tonight, and gets there. Touchdown Raiders. Joe Kuchar, third touchdown of the night at the 8:37 mark of the third quarter.
Well, I was a little surprised that Kuchar cut that pattern off short of the end zone, and there was two Hilltoppers there to make the play. You know, and they could not do it. He split them and ended up into the end zone.
Well, the thing is, it was a hitch route, and Kuchar did the right thing. After he caught the hitch, he turned back around to the outside upfield, and he made ground by ducking his shoulders and protecting the football. It was really a textbook move by Kuchar, although you're right. You would normally prefer him to make that hitch move in the end zone, but I think he saw the fact that they were coming up to cover him. He had to adjust the route, and it was a great job by Bulls to notice that and deliver the football accordingly. As it stands, 33-6 with our boy here, number 23 on Kanash, to put it through the uprights, and he connects on this one. 34-6 your score at the 8:37 mark of the third quarter, and we'll take a 30-second timeout. It is Friday Night Lights on your classic hit station, 94.5 The Drive.
No pressure. Definitely you should drop in and try out the bomb sub, just like Nick Bowles and Joe Kuchar will be doing since they connected on that pass of over 40 yards. And right now, Kanash on to kick this one off for the Raiders. Boom. Almost close to being offsides, but no call. As St. Johnsbury, two men collide trying to receive this one. Shattuck comes away with it. No, he fumbles the football. I think the Raiders might have come up with it.
And I wasn't sure if he was down. Referee definitely did call it a fumble, though.
Yeah, and they're going to say now that they recovered. Looks like Shattuck ended up getting back his own fumble, but still, that was pretty close. They dropped it when they bumped into each other, and then they drop it on the return. 34-6. We'll have to see if this score takes the wind out of St. Johnsbury's sails or if they're going to keep plugging along. Alorcio, it's his first year, first game with this bunch. As they come out now, twins to the wide side. Actually, call it trips because they have the tight end there as well. Snap in the shotgun. Hudson back. He's looking outside. Now pressured. Has to run it. He'll tuck it and get drugged down right about the LOS. Maybe picking up 2 yards.
Well, for the most part, the Rutland secondary has done a pretty good job. Really not letting any. The only time we saw someone wide open was that 50-yard completion. Other than that, they've done a pretty nice job.
There was that one time, too, where they got number 86, Smith, just beyond over here. And they almost connected on that. They've got to watch it because just a couple of mistakes with that zone coverage could yield some big results for St. Johnsbury if the Raiders secondary isn't careful. As it stands, 7:54 left in the third. Raiders up 34-6. St. Johnsbury on 2nd and 8 right now from their own 21 as they do inside zone to Shattuck, who tries to bounce it outside with very little positive results. He'll be drugged down about the 23-yard line.
Late flag coming in there, almost like
face mask.
Face mask.
Yeah, I think it was because I saw his head pop back, so I think we're going to get a face mask on the Raiders. And now it looks like the fullback and part-time linebacker for the Raiders, that would be Samuel Billings, limping off, hobbling off the field. Might have twisted an ankle here on this turf. You never know.
Still waiting for the signal, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Raiders are backing up.
Looks like a 15-yard variety, so this will definitely give them a first down if it is.
No, 5-yarder.
5 yards, okay.
That should, however, be a first down, and it is.
Here we go, St. Johnsbury. They've got twins to the short side as they run option. Hudson keeps it, trying to find the cutback lane on 1st and 10 from their own 29. Not a whole lot of success.
You know what? With a 34-6 lead, the Raiders would be very content to let St. Johnsbury go about their business this way right now.
Well, and a great job there by the Raiders as they strung it out enough to be able to contain the option. That's why Hudson had to find the cutback lane. They did a great job of stuffing it. Brings up a 2nd and 7 for the St. Johnsbury Hilltoppers. Man in motion, wheel motion this time, but they hand off inside to Shattuck on the inside zone.
Shattuck still has had a good night. St. Johnsbury's impressive to watch.
Well, he'll probably pick up 100 before it's all said and done. 3rd and 2 after the run from Shattuck. This is very manageable, but the clock just ticking away. 6:35 left in the third, and still a really big margin. 28 points. Raiders are up. As they said, the man in motion. Low snap. Now Hudson takes it off the ground and takes off for the first down. I think some Raiders were kind of caught off guard there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Plus, they keep sending number 37 in motion. That would be Eli Wendell. And they set up the option that time with him on the motion, but Dylan Hudson just really looking to put it right. I'm sorry, Colton Hudson just looking to stick it through for the first. 1st and 10, ball on the 45-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Twins to the wide side, as this time it was a halfback direct snap to the back. I think they're going to call him for motion.
Yep, I think you're right. You know, again, we talked about this the first year for this system here at St. Johnsbury. Hudson is only a junior, so he'll have one year to kind of get used to it and see how he comes along with it.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Shattuck is a senior, but Eli Wendell is just a junior, so you would think that maybe they're grooming him to take over for Shattuck next year because he's gotten the Angel's share there of the carries tonight. Slot back in is Eli Wendell as the fake goes to Shattuck on the screen pass now back to that side. And he'll take it for a gain of about 7, maybe 8 yards as it was 1st and 15 for the Hilltoppers. That should bring up, they're going to give him, about 8 yards, maybe even 9.
9, yeah.
So I'll bring up a 2nd and 6, ball marked at the 49-yard line of the Hilltoppers. 5:34 left in the third. They're down by 28. Raiders having their way tonight, but let's see if they can stop St. Johnsbury on this drive. Doubles to each side. Hudson will fire the ball a little bit low as it got to the receiver, just barely, and might see a visit here from Casarino in the 4th.
All right.
So trying to get him to come over and talk about that team he's got over there at MSJ. Big numbers this year. They got about 37 guys.
Well, that is certainly very, very nice.
Well, he's worked really hard to build the program through some of the younger kids, and he's done a good job with that. Out of the shotgun now, snap back to Hudson, who fires the screen pass, and he gets pummeled. Shattuck getting hit right at the LOS.
Corey Black, that time the Raiders picked up and recognized the screen very quickly. Black stayed where he needed to be. Made the stop right at the line of scrimmage pretty much. Maybe a yard gain.
4th and 5 for the for the Hilltoppers. 4:53 left in the third quarter.
This is pretty much the game for St. Johnsbury right now. Oh, they're actually going to punt. Okay. I thought they were going to go for it. So that snap comes back into the punter Shattuck, very high and soft.
Well, he hasn't been zipping it back there tonight, so and I think we're going to have some motion on St. Johnsbury as well, so back him up a little more. Turns a 4th and 5 into a 4th and 10, and they will line up and do it again. Two guys back to receive this one. It's a snap a little bit wobbly and almost blocked, but as a result, the punt he got off a great one.
Yep.
Looks like it rolls out about the 7 or 6 yard line. They're actually going to mark it at the 8 yard line of the Raiders. So
kicked it away from Godfrey there, and he just couldn't get to it, and a really good punt.
1st and 10 is where, let's see, 1st and 10 from the 8 yard line. The Raiders will start on their own 8 on this one. 4:22 left. 28-point lead for the Raiders, 34-6 in the 3rd quarter.
And the Raiders' worst starting field position of the night.
That's all right. Kanash put St. Johnsbury deep once, too. The kicking game for both teams actually has been pretty good tonight, although they did have that one block tonight by Rutland against St. Johnsbury. That's why it's 34-6. I formation as Bowles comes out with twins to the wide side. Handoff is going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
I don't even know if that was Billings or not. It was looked like the fullback. If that's that was
Caleb White.
Yep.
Right now, Billings isn't in.
That's right. He came out with a little gimpy there.
Yeah, and I'm still looking for him here on the sidelines. I don't see him in.
Okay, but Holbrook on the tackle.
A loss of a yard.
I want to say they had in Quentin Lenoci in there. Lenoci. Lenoci, okay. Bowles brings him to the line, formation into the sidelines. They run that way with Caleb White, who tries to bounce it outside, but is stuffed after maybe a yard gain.
He lost a yard the first time, might have got it right back there, but pretty good defense down here by St. Johnsbury right now.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and we'll call it 3rd and a long 9.
Kuchar coming back in and see if they have something in the playbook for him.
He's been able to make it happen tonight. We'll see what Cooch has up his sleeve this time. The big key is Bowles being able to deliver the football. He has not been that accurate tonight.
3rd down and 9.
Bowles under center, I formation, takes a 3-step drop, throws the fade route to Cooch, who, he almost came away with it. If it hits you in the hands, baby, you got to catch it. He almost came up with that, but just misjudged it a tad when he made the turn.
Kind of turned him around a little bit, and by the time he swung around, he got himself a little out of position and wasn't quite able to get back to where he needed to be.
So that'll bring up a 4th down situation, and Kanash will come on to boot this one away. Andrew, a sophomore for the Raiders, has had a few good punts tonight. Let's see if he can get him out of a deep situation, because it's 4th and 10 from their own 9-yard line. He'll be punting from about 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Good snap, Kanash, good steps, and he booms one. It's going to take a bounce about the 43-yard line of Rutland, take it up on the hop by Wendell, who keeps bringing it down the field. We're going to get a clip, though, on number 49, it looked like. Number 49 for St. Johnsbury. Derek Wilson, he came up and just tattooed number 15 for the Raiders, Tristan Stutz. And as a result, we'll get a clip, and that will be coming back.
Wendell there, I thought, wasn't really going to return that, but was able to, as it was bouncing on the ground, but came in and got a good hop and able to pick up an extra 20 yards. But as you said, it will come back.
Yeah, legal block in the back is the signal from the Zebras, so they're going to march off at probably, what is that, 15? Yeah. will march off 15 on the personal foul for the Hilltoppers, and they'll lose essentially all that ground gained on the pretty good return by them.
And then, of course, will get marked off where that clip occurred, which is the 33-yard line.
Yeah, so they march off 15. That's going to put them almost back to midfield.
Oh, you're only going to make it 10.
So
it's a 10-yard penalty now.
There you go. 10-yard penalty. I have to get back into the swing of things, Rick. I know what they're doing when they wave their arms. It's the yardage I mess up sometimes.
Still good field position for St. Johnsbury at the 43 of Rutland.
Yeah, as they come out with an empty set this time, 3 receivers to the left, to the wide side, and 2 receivers to the right. They blow the whistle. They're on the line. Let's play some football. Hudson from the shotgun, running the draw, finds room up the middle for about 5 yards.
Hudson on the carry. Stoops with the tackle.
Tristan with the tackle that time, as he'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Hilltoppers. Ball marked about the 39-yard line of the Raiders. Empty set again as Hudson works from the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the bubble screen, and decides to run it himself. Another pickup of about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 35 of the Raiders.
Tackle line Joshua White and company.
They didn't give him nearly that much there.
Yeah, they put him all the way back. It'll be a 3rd and 3 as a result. The ball on the 36-yard line. Empty set once again as Hudson keeps it for a 3rd time and picks up positive yards for a 3rd straight time.
Hudson with the carry.
Well, they certainly used that play often tonight.
Hey, if you can't stop it, keep running it.
Yeah.
That's a 1st down for the Hilltoppers, who pick up yardage this time. They'll mark it at the 26 of the Raiders. Hudson's done it through the air, and he's done it on the ground for the Hilltoppers. Obviously, their leading ground gainer so far. As he drops back, looks to the flat for the tight end, who bobbles it, and it's incomplete. A pass that should have been caught there by number 80, their tight end. Yoruba Guzman.
Yep. A little bit behind him, but you mentioned getting your hands on it. He got both hands on it and could not bring that one in.
So I always tell receivers, if it hits you in the hands, you ought to catch it.
Probably should catch it.
It
always works that way.
Empty set once again. Twins to the short side, trips to the wide side, and the ball knocked down. A good pass, but knocked down by David Kirby, the senior D-back for the Raiders.
Pass intended but for Brennan Smith. Kirby able to jump underneath that.
3rd and 10 for the Hilltoppers. Ball still at the 26-yard line of the Raiders. Empty set. Trips to the wide side. It looked like they were going to run a trap set that time because number 70 was fixing to pull.
He was fixing to pull, and he pulled too early.
I love the way he was fixing there. After all, 5 years now, I've rubbed off on you. This is our 5th year together. Yeah, I think so. How time flies.
I guess so.
And glad to be back in the booth for another season. Of course, we'll be bringing you Friday Night Lights most of the year. We've got Middlebury's on the roster here for one. We actually will be doing one later this season. I think 3rd game of the year will be from Mill River, their first ever night game against Otter Valley.
Temporary lights down there. They're going to give it a try.
Here we go with shotgun, an empty set on 3rd and 15, and it's completed over the middle down to the 10 for another Hilltopper 1st down.
Gain of 21 right down the seam there.
Clock ticks down to 59 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, but still 28 points down. We'll see if the Hilltoppers can put some points on the board here.
I think they'd really like, if they're going to be able to score, they'd like to score before this period's out at least.
Anderson with the tackle.
Clock's cranked back up again as they move the chains. 1st and goal from the 10. Bubble screen out to Wendell, who tries to make a little move, picks up some yardage and breaks it down inside of the 5-yard line.
Got a shot at Wendell in the backfield there, but able to get the edge and get out of bounds inside the 5.
Nice little group here from St. Johnsbury in for the game, but the Raiders showing up tonight to fill these stands, and the student section pretty huge as well.
Well, you certainly have to credit people from St. Johnsbury. That is not an easy or a quick ride.
Second down.
Trips to the wide side. They go empty as Hudson will try the quarterback draw again, and he finds a little bit of room before he's stuffed. Number 56 for the Raiders, Charles Franzoni, bringing the wood. Is it Bobby works up here in the box too? Bill Franzoni works up here in the booth. He's one of the timekeepers, actually. He's done a great job over the years for the Raiders. He's probably enjoying the new scoreboard as it ticks down to 18 seconds. St. Johnsbury set up trips to the right as Hudson will fake the hitch and take it himself down to the 1 on 3rd and 4.
That'll get rid of the third quarter clock.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. We've got more action for you as they will have a 4th and 1 coming up. For the Hilltoppers when we come back for the 4th quarter on your classic hit station. It's Friday Night Lights. Raiders up 34-6 on 94.5 The Drive. Great job over at Mill River. But right now, St. Johnsbury, 4th and 1. They hand off to Shaq. I don't know if he didn't get it. He didn't get it.
Charles Whitmore.
4th and 1, and he gets stuffed on a goal line stand from the Raiders. They will hold 34-6, still your score as they take possession on the 1-yard line. Great goal line stand by the Rutland Raiders.
And it was Whittemore that came through, made the contact, and he's had a very good game. The interception, the fumble recovery, and the big stuff right there. And if you're looking at that JP Career MVP, I mean, he's one of them, and Joe Goeke on the offensive side is two ones that really shine right now.
Yeah, Joe's got 3 touchdowns. I'll tell you what, another one, I've really been impressed with Whittemore, like you said. He's done it all. He's got an interception, big stick right there to keep St. Johnsbury from punching it in. But yeah, Kuchar with 3 touchdowns. Wow. And Kuchar is actually split wide to the left with the 2 tight ends set on the goal line I formation. Bowles drops back. He's got Kuchar. Kuchar makes the catch. He's to the 30. 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5-4-3-2-1. Give him 6. Touchdown Raiders.
That might have sealed it.
That was awesome. And what cojones to throw that route from your 1-yard line. Great call by the Raiders, catching the Hilltoppers completely off guard. At 11:40 in the fourth, it's 40-6 pending the PAT, Rick.
Well, you can't throw one longer than that. They're going to have 2 subs apiece now. 99 yards. One play in 99 yards.
Yeah, they basically have lunch covered twice this week. Then again, knowing both of them, they'll probably go get both subs and sit and eat them right then. They do have an appetite at that age, you know?
Yeah, they do.
Kuchar with his 4th, count them, 4 touchdowns on the night. He's making Bowles look good.
Yeah. Well, again, he just slipped behind the defense there, and Bowles passed right on the money that time. And
coach's worst nightmare. He got out there, and there was no help behind him. They were like a 0 coverage, so. Snap's good, and he punches it through. Kanash with another point after. 41-6 your score, 11:40 left in the fourth quarter. Let's take a 30-second timeout on your classic hit station. Hey, it's Friday Night Lights on 94.5 The Drive.
All you got to say about these guys, Joseph Kuchar, senior wide receiver, probably has had a career. He has 4 touchdown passes, plus probably a state record, as he just scored on a 99-yard touchdown pass. And guess what? Finally gets the ball. Slow down and gets that one. Got right in stride.
We'll take it 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
So that one pass play certainly makes the Nick Bowles numbers look a lot better tonight, too. He's 6 for 12 now for 238 yards. So,
and 4 touchdowns.
And 4 touchdowns. So what a 199-yard pass will do for your numbers right there.
Well, as it stands, Hudson looking to put some points on the board for the Hilltoppers. He's in the gun with doubles. Takes a 3-step drop as he throws the screen out to Shattuck, who ends up finding some room. He's to the 40 and then drugged down about the 45. About an 8-yard gain for the Hilltoppers, who will find it 2nd and 2 from their own 40. Well, actually, did they put it at the 46 or the 45? 46-yard line, we'll call it. Yeah, kind of in between.
Yeah.
6 1/2 dozen the other.
Raiders just almost picked that screen up in time.
As it stands, the Hilltoppers back to the line. Doubles again as they fake the inside zone. Throw the bubble screen out to the side. And number 3 unable to come up with it. Had Andrew Graciano caught that, he might have gotten tattooed.
Yeah, he might have. And the thing is, that one, Colton Hudson just let that hang out. But I think a pass like that is going straight across him. You got to kind of zip that over there.
Well, yeah, you can't allow for that time. And that was one of the worries. I mean, Hudson's been able to run the ball fairly well, but he has not had that arm strength you expect for a quarterback in this style offense.
Something that certainly, will come, I would think, if...
Here we go. A run by Hudson again. He gets it down to the 45. I think we had a clock issue there.
Yeah, I think the clock was running and it was noticed by the Raiders staff up here. St. Johnsbury got just a little bit extra time to work with here.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders are about ready to bring a little bit of heat if I was heard right, so we'll see if they don't put it on them as they get a 1st and 10 now for the Raider 45 after that last play. Shotgun doubles as they fake it. Now they throw the bubble screen out once again to Garciano, who makes a little bit of room, but only picks up maybe 3 yards.
And Jordan Godfrey able just to get a hand out there and trip him up. Gain of only about 3.
41-6 your score. 2nd and about 7 now for the Hilltoppers from the 42-yard line of the Raiders. Snap back to Hudson. Hudson makes a couple of yards and stretches out. He'll be down about the 40.
Charles Whittemore again around his ankle, would not let go as Hudson tried to drag him but only picked up a yard.
It'll be 3rd and 5 from the Raider 40. As the clock continues to tick, time is definitely not on St. Johnsbury's side. Snap back out of the double shotgun look. He's going to throw the screen to Shattuck. Nobody fooled as they stuff it immediately. Number 49 coming up for the Raiders. That would be Dalton Woodard, a junior defensive lineman for Rutland.
Woodard and Whittemore both right there again, and you're right. That time the screen, they've seen it a lot tonight. That time it didn't fool anyone. Lost about 3.
Here we go. Out of the gun, doubles look again as he takes the snap. Hudson back, he's looking to throw deep and instead throws the out route, which is caught at about the 40. On 4th down, they're not going to make it, so the ball will be turned over on bounds, and the Raiders will take possession about the 38-yard line. St. Johnsbury all but losing the wind out of their sails after that failed drive.
Just unable to pick up the big chunks of yardage that they need at times, and been getting a lot of stuff underneath, but the Raiders have been keeping it underneath for the most part.
Well, look for the Raiders' ground game to be prominent on this set of downs as Kanash checks in for the Raiders. And he will be in the backfield, I believe. No, it's number 22, actually. Let's see who's back there now. As even Kanash is the quarterback. I was wondering there. 20, 22, and 23 in the game. The handoff there was to Caleb White. Andrew Kanash getting a little playing time with the big lead, as it looks like Nick Bowles' night is done. It's nice that he's getting the young guys out there to play a little bit. And you got this kind of lead, might as well.
2nd down at 6.
I formation, the halfback toss pitch to Caleb White. And he gets wrestled down, maybe a 2-yard loss there.
Wait with the tackle.
Raiders happy to run that clock, as you said, at this stage of the game. We're ticking down to the halfway mark here in the 4th and beyond.
Yeah, about 6 minutes left or so in this one, as the Raiders just trying to move the football and run the clock. Andrew Kanash, your quarterback under center, on 3rd and 9 after the setback. I formation, they'll hand it off to Caleb White. He gets hit in the backfield, makes a couple of yards before he's down. It'll bring up a 4th and about 8 after forward progress.
Goes in with the tackle.
Raiders.
4th down? Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I'm just going to say now you would guess Kanash stays in and punts it away. So Nick Bowles' night, as you said, is probably done. He finished 6 for 12 for 238 yards, and a good hunk of that yardage went to Joe Kuchar.
Kanash back to punt this one away, gets a great snap and a high wobbly spiral that will be called for a fair catch at the 25-yard line.
And as you said, it was 4 touchdowns. So, on paper, not a bad night for Nick Bowles.
Not at all, as Kuchar's come up huge tonight for the Raiders. 4 touchdowns on his part. Bowles getting it through the air. And a special guest now coming into the box with us is we have a visit from none other than Jeff Casarino.
This is the only time I see him out of Price Chopper is during football season.
Oh, man. How you doing tonight there, Jeff?
How you doing?
Oh, not bad. Raiders facing off here against St. Johnsbury. 1st and 10 for St. Johnsbury from their own 25. 4:13 left in this one. 41-6 your score. And St. Johnsbury not looking bad tonight with Rich Alorcio at the helm, running an offense you became familiar with at Castleton State when you coached for Rich.
Yeah. Actually, they started out doing pretty well. Rutland looks pretty good. Good first night for them. But if you take away a few mistakes early on in the game, I think they definitely, the quarterback runs the ball well. They got some big kids up front, and, that's definitely St. Johnsbury. I think it's a team that's only going to get better as they get used to the system.
Absolutely, and they definitely have the talent out there to be able to run it as they start out now with a 2nd and 6 from the 29-yard line. Snap back to Hudson. He fakes inside zone, throws the out route to number 21, who will pick up a first down out near the 40-yard line. Your first game tomorrow.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Our first game tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm coaching for you this year, and, it's going to be a good one. BFA Fairfax coming to town to open the season at St. Peter's Field against MSJ.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a good day. Hopefully the weather stays nice, stays warm, and they're a team that was in the championship game last year, so I think it'll be a good test for us early on.
And the pass over the middle from Hudson dropped at about the 42-yard line of the Raiders. Andrew Kanash on the break up there playing free safety. What do you think of the Raiders this year? They've got some real young talent out there. Kanash, just a sophomore, getting it done for special teams and as a safety on defense.
I tell you, I was really impressed with Andy. I coached him a few years, for a bunch of years in baseball, and he came up and had some nice hits from that secondary spot, kicks the ball well, and I think Rutland's going to have a decent team. They had a nice mix of the run. They tossed in a couple nice pass plays to Kuchar. Looked like Nick was throwing the ball well tonight. Gave him a lot of time to throw too, which I thought was important for him. He had some time to sit back there in the pocket, and the defense has been playing well. Josh White, he's all over the place, number 55, and good opening wing for him.
Well, Hudson with no time to throw there for the Hilltoppers. He's sacked. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 9. And I'll tell you what, it's interesting. Norman knows how to get the most out of his players. So this is a good indicator tonight. That 4th down that they held on the goal line there was pretty good for the Raiders.
Yeah, big stop, and and then coming out, I think there's only probably a few people in the stands that thought they were going to throw that fade ball to Kuchar. But that's when nobody's thinking you're going to do it. It's time to do it, and that was just a nice exclamation point to a good first night for them.
Well, they obviously saw something they liked with no free safety back there to help out. So, and Kuchar making the most of it. 4 touchdowns tonight. Jerry's beaming.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's a proud pop right now, and rightly so. He had that first touchdown. Looked like he got up there and muscled the ball from the corner. Looked like it was floating up there for a little while. I thought the safety was going to have time to come over and make a play on it, but, he went up for it. He gets up there pretty good, and, he fought hard that last one, but... again, not a bad showing for St. Johnsbury and Coach Luricio's first night.
Well, it's a 3rd and 9 right now for St. Johnsbury as Hudson fakes inside zone, rolls out on the waggle, and throws it deep. He's got a man. It's Graciano who will make the catch down in Rutland territory down to the 21-yard line. Well, one thing I've noticed tonight are the big numbers for St. Johnsbury, the same kind of thing that you're starting to experience at MSJ with almost, 36, 37 guys out this year?
Yeah, I think we'll address 37 tomorrow, and, a good group of freshmen and some young kids. So, just like St. Johnsbury, quarterbacks throws the ball well. They got some young kids in the same place. But Rutland's very young themselves.
Yeah, they have played a lot of young guys tonight. Here we go with another pass to Graciano. Touchdown on the fade route there, and just really well done between Hudson and Graciano for the touchdown. And was that Chris Conley? My bad, Chris Conley with the catch on that one. So 41-12. Your score now is they will probably, let's see if they try to kick it. Looks like they will. How'd Sebastian do today on the
Did well. I tell you what, he did well on the kickoffs too. I mean, he was doing it pretty good. Yeah, and Chris. I think he was booming a little further than Chris today, but I think tomorrow you've got him in a position. We get close, we're going to put it up.
Hey, I mean, give him a chance there. Sebastian, a great kid who played soccer last year now. So he's playing football this year for MSJ, and St. Johnsbury lined it up to kick this extra point. He will make it. 41-12 or 41-13 now your score with 1:26 left in the fourth quarter. Coach, any other thoughts?
No, thanks for coming out. Thanks for letting me come up and talk. Hopefully everybody out there listening still tuned in, and come on down to St. Peter's Field at 1 o'clock. We'll put on a good show.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you in the morning. Rick, thank you very much. My wife gave me the kill sign, so. Come on, it was a good act on there.
Hey, Hey, that's Coach Casarino, the head coach over at MSJ. They've got their opener tomorrow at St. Peter's Field when BFA Fairfax comes to town to take them on. It will be a 1 o'clock kickoff, as Coach mentioned. As it stands, St. Johnsbury is probably going to be trying an onside kick here after scoring that touchdown. 1:26 left in the contest, 41-13 your score.
Well, Chris Connolly came in on that drive and was really impressive. He looked very good coming in for Colton Hudson and threw a couple of nice deep passes and moved this Hilltoppers 75 yards in 5 plays. 6 plays.
So Conley connected with Garciano for the touchdown, and I got to say, I was interested to see them go with a different quarterback at this stage. Might make you wonder if Alercio goes a little bit sooner to that here next week.
3 for 4, 68 yards on that drive for Connolly.
Pun set to kick this one for the Hilltoppers. It looks like an onside attempt. Here we go. Now it's just going to be a squib kick, as it were. Picked up by Kuchar about the 15-yard line. He's going to dance it around a little bit, gets past the 25, and is brought down at the 28.
So the Raiders trying to get rid of the clock here with only 1:10 to go.
And don't forget, we've still got your JP Carrera and Son MVP to hand out. Of course, Carrera has been doing the most valuable player for us for quite some time. And their long-standing tradition of supporting local athletics here in Rutland is just so wonderful. 45 years, over 45 years now. Definitely a great thing. JP Carrera and Son's just doing so much for us. We'll name that MVP here at the end of the game. During the post-game show brought to you by Wazy and Kenny Insurance over the East Ridge Professional Building on Route 4. Victory formation for the Raiders as the clock starts to tick down to 30 seconds left in this one. Probably get one more snap away to wind this one up depending on when they wind the clock, and the faithful are starting to file out. Hey, how's it going? Always appreciate the folks who come out here to Rutland to catch the great football at Alumni Field. They'll take a knee one more time, and 41-13 is going to be your final as the clock ticks down under 5 seconds.
They don't have to.
Yeah, I think they're in the huddle going right on, babe. Way to get the first win in a big way. Rich Alercio in his return to Rutland as a head coach is unsuccessful as Norman puts it on in 41-13 your final.